Okay, in this video, we talk about Let That Be Your Last Battlefield after this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and this is an episode that was written or co-written by Lee Cronin. Now, Lee Cronin is a pen name for Gene Coon. Gene Coon used to be the showrunner for Star Trek. From the first season he was brought on, he came up with the idea of the Klingons, he came up with the idea of the Federation, he came up with Starfleet, for that matter, and the Prime Directive, and many other things that make him what is called by William Shatner in his book, The Other Gene, who was one of the big brains behind the show. He left as showrunner and was replaced by Fred Freiberger. And Fred Freiberger was not one who had a real good track record. In fact, didn't have a good track record after Star Trek. After Star Trek was canceled, he went to the second season of Space 1999 and pretty much tanked that one as well by making several changes in it that made it a completely different show than the first season, but that's a different story. Lee Cronin being one of the writers of this makes it one of the better third season episodes. Frank Gorshin plays one of the beings that is half black and half white, with the dividing their face from one side is white and one side is black, except that in the case of Lokai and Beale, they were black and white on opposite sides of their face, and therefore there was bigotry. There was a race hatred between them. One of them was a revolutionary. His race had been enslaved, and while they were released, they were still treated as second-class citizens, and he had been a revolutionary and had been tracked by Beale for 50,000 years trying to bring him to justice. So this is a little morality play, really, about racial prejudice and where it can go when all you have is hate. At the very end of the episode, Uhura says, all they ever had was hate. And Kirk says, no, but that's all they have now. And that was what this story was about. For no rational reason that could be understood by the Enterprise crew, which has overcome racism mostly, they are completely the same to everybody who sees them there, even though they see vast differences in each other and have a certain disdain for monocolored species as well. Nevertheless, the story goes well on to that what happens is completely irrational, that their hatred of each other was completely irrational, and there was no fixing it by this point. And so they let them go back to their dead planet and fight it out while the Enterprise went back to its nearest starbase. An interesting story. It is not one that puts our heroes in any real danger. It is not one that has any dead ends to it, honestly. It is just a story told by a couple of good actors and involves our Enterprise crew. I think it's well done. It is one of the types of Star Trek shows that they did better than anyone else. So I'd like to know what you think about it. Please put it in the comments below. And of course, we will be back on Friday for a review of Babylon 5, and then back on Monday for yet another Deep Space Nine. So thank you for joining us. And until next time, don't go far.